Chairman, my name is John Charles, President of Cascade Policy Institute. I've read through the budget and some related documents, and while I appreciate this chart, it's quite fascinating. I do believe it's a bit misleading. It suggests that there's a lull in the action, that where the hurricane was the calm before the storm for FY 2017, but in my opinion, that's only because of the decade-long practice of treating your pension funds and your OPEB funds as ATMs to withdraw and spend on all kinds of things that you shouldn't have been spending on. So you have more than $1.2 billion of unfunded actuarial accrued liability. The reason your budget is balanced today, the proposal, is because you're choosing again not to make any contributions to the OPEB trust fund. That's irresponsible. In other contexts, people doing that would be in jail. You're breaching your fiduciary trust. There is no calm before the storm. You're in the storm. My second point is that the budget narrative is kind of a magic act. It sort of calls your attention to one thing while doing another. Here, over and over, light rail is not the problem. Debt service is not the problem. Okay, well, on Wall Street, when some bank or someone like Enron says, we don't have a liquidity problem, everybody knows they have a liquidity problem. Okay, you need to be a little savvy here about what's said and not said in this budget. Okay, here's what management says. Light rail has only cost us 5% of construction costs since East Side Max. Well, that sounds soothing, only 5%. 5% of $3.7 billion is $183 million. That's money. That's actually a low estimate. My calculation is over $200 million that you've spent out of your general fund to build slow trains. Why? Of course that's part of your problem. Debt service. Staff expresses the issue soothingly in percent terms. You just heard from the CFO. Well, you're well below the 7.5% threshold. That's a percent. That's a number. What does it mean? You have a cash problem. Translate that. Senior lien debt for the FY 14 budget that you're considering, just related to light rail, is about $18 million. You had a $12 million problem last year that you were sweating and bleeding on. $18 million, that's a nice thing that you would have liked nice to have. Senior lien debt total since 2001 through 2014 is over $200 million. Senior lien money. That's money from your payroll taxes that goes directly into trust funds. You never even touch it. It goes up to pay off Wall Street bonds. That'd be a nice thing to have. And then here's the real sneaker. Page 38 of your fall 2012 financial assumptions report announces for the first time that I'm ever aware of, in 2027, you'll have to float $327 million of senior lien debt issued because all your 40-year-old light rail cars have to be replaced, plus you have to buy 12 new ones at $6.8 million a vehicle. $327 million of bond debt, you'll finally be over your 7.5% problem. So the conclusion there is, for both capital and operating, your business model fails. You're in a free fall. And you're not doing anything about it. There's nothing significantly different here. I've been saying this every year for 5 years. You're not doing anything different. So you need to take some action. Actually, I think you need to shrink the district. You're never going to win any concessions at the contract table. And as of yesterday, partly through my doing, there's a bill dropped in the legislature, Senate Bill 826, that if it gets a hearing, you should actually be down there to testify in support, which would allow any jurisdiction within your district to leave the district at any time for any reason and prohibit you from raising the payroll tax on all the other people left in the district. You should shrink yourself. It's the only way to save yourself. Your employees are too expensive. They price themselves out of your market. And you should not be selling more government bonds. The construction program is ridiculous, and you should tell the governor, look him in the eye since he appointed you, and say the CRC project is absurd. It will increase your operating costs by $1.5 million. That wasn't said a few minutes ago, but it's in your budget statement. Why are you attempting to serve a whole other state that already has a great system when you can't even serve your current district? It's time for a huge leap here, a paradigm shift, to be cliche-ish, and what you have in front of you is not enough.
Thank you, John.